Is this the new PTO norm? Started with a new company a bit over a year ago. I was told when hired that PTO was all I one bucket. Sick and vacation come from the same pool essentially. Noticed that the total hours was about the same as the vacation pool I had at my previous organization after 6 years. So I didn't think much of it. Found that no one wants to take sick time because it takes away from vacation. I don't do it either. Luckily I am remote. I saw on the company blog that they were patting themselves on the back for having the one pool of PTO and explicitly recommended other businesses do it to reduce the amount of sick days taken by employees. WTF? I am grateful I get PTO at all. But this sounds awfully fishy. Just wish I didn't have to work at all rather than fight this stuff. My company has it in all one bank. It sucks. People come to work sick all the time because they are out of PTO. I am grateful to get PTO at all. JFC, that's grim. The very concept of sick days is obscene. How many days total? I have 10 vacation and 5 sick days. But I can use any of them either way. It shouldn't matter as long as you have 15 days total minimum emo. Is the total number of days less? I went from one place that gave me 15 vacation days and 10 sick days to another place that it's pooled instead. But it's 25 PTO days total. So there's not really any difference in total number of days. In fact, I actually like this way better. Or do you have less total days now? That would be illegal even in Canada. And we're almost as much of a dystopian hellscape as the US labor-wise. I wish mine was all in one bank. It's pretty common. I hate it. You never really get to take a vacation because one bad illness wipes you out. This new job has one block but has forced termination after 10 occurrences a year regardless of circumstances. Unless protected by law. Regardless of if it's paid or not. They say they don't count planned time as an occurrence, but nobody here ever takes vacations. I'm not sure. I absolutely hated this. It meant when we had young kids we never had a vacation for years because all of our PTO got burned up whenever a kid got sick, and most places only gave 1-2 weeks worth total. My current places gives up to 2 weeks of sick leave and 2 weeks of vacation, and you can roll over what you don't use up to a certain amount. Yup. Sick? Go die. FTRI get 10 days. Total. I've been here 5 years. I'm looking but no one hires older women. Dying sounds nice. I worked at a bank that did that but rolled over unused PTO into a separate sick time the next year. Problem was if you were sick and didn't have sick time banked from last year, you were punished for using PTO without prior authorization. Got put on PIP for being sick and using PTO. Yep. The latest tactic to take more from us. Everyone comes in sick so more people get sick. And production goes down. But they pat themselves on the back for saving money on time off. I will never be able to take a vacation, so it's all sick time for me, baby. But in all seriousness, I actually hated having separate pools for sick and PTO because I will never take a vacation but will take mental health days. But MH days can't be scheduled like a vacation. Yes, it sucks depending on your employer. You also get an occurrence for taking the so-called sick time. Essentially, sick time does not exist. Damned if you do. Damned if you don't. I prefer the single bucket because I don't like explaining why I'm taking off. This only works, I suppose, if you're allowed to give short notice. My company has both combined. But I love it. If I am sick, I take a day. If I want vacation, I plan ahead. We make 120 hours a year. And it rolls over until you have 240 if you want. And after that, You get paid out if you don't want to take days off. USA is so far behind the other Western countries on vacation, sick days, maternity and paternity leave, healthcare benefits, etc. I actually prefer it this way rather than having separate vacation sick days. I'm generally pretty healthy and always felt gypped at the end of the year having sick leave left over. Could have used that for vacation. American labor policy is unethical and that's all there is to it. People get sick. We all do. Everyone should get, and everyone should take when necessary sick days. This focus on constantly squeezing every last drop out of employees is reprehensible. Yup. That's what my company switched to. But they had to increase our vacation to do it, as they had been stingy as hell with the vacation time. We all avoid taking days off because it's a direct subtraction from our paid vacation. Get really sick? Boom. No more paid time off for you. How dare you break your ankle? I used to work for an Alberta company that did this. And probably still does. They actually were told by the labor board, or whatever it's called in Alberta, to either change the PTO setup, because it's illegal, or pay a fine. They opted to pay the fine, which tells you how much money they were saving by taking sick days out of vacation time. I left 9 years ago, so I don't know if they still do this. It could possibly be based on what state you're in. My company is based in Mo and my coworkers all have separate PTO versus sick leave. I'm the only one who lives in NM. So mine is all one bucket of total hours. I actually have a bit better deal than they do. It was so funny. Our department HR manager, huge corp, 100K employees, emails me like, "Wow, aren't you so lucky? Just because we're so cool we decided to make your PTO deal better. You can say thanks now." Oh, and on a totally unrelated topic, your state passed new laws that said we technically had to. I think so. In the 5 companies' benefit packages I have been while interviewing, all have the PTO bucket. Well then, you want a vacation during a prime vacation time week? Don't ax. Just call in sick for a week or whatever. Same bucket. So it shouldn't matter. I get 240 hours a year in one pool. I prefer it as I can use it however I want for either sick time or PTO. I stopped calling it PTO. It's exit bonus accrual now. Anywho, we're supposed to wear some pins or whatever for Mental Health Awareness Day tomorrow. Planning on saying that I'll wear the pin if I can take a mental health day. For the lulz. You usually never see actual sick time unless you're union, in my experience. It's not bad if PTO is never denied. We have sick time but can't be used unless we are our 2 or more weeks. Had to be PTO and we are not allowed to work less than 40. If we are sick or miss for any reason we have to use the little PTO we get. I've worked in companies where it was all one bucket yet you earned hours that were comparable to sick and PTO at other places. I'm a fan because the single bucket method gives you more flexibility in choosing how to use your time. That seems to be pretty normal from my experience. But there is a version that's even worse: unlimited vacation. It sounds awesome. But what it really means is that you don't actually accrue any PTO. So you don't get any payout for unused PTO. And usually it's impossible to actually take any time off anyway because of the company culture. It sucks for chronically ill and disabled people. I had to save all my PTO for medical appointments and flare-ups. I didn't take a vacation from 2013-2019 when I moved to a job with sick time. I got to take a whole week off at Christmas that year and it was amazing. I had this way back in 2002. So it's not new. I think the recent Colorado sick time laws won't allow that anymore. But sick time is purely regulated throughout the U.S.